Hello everyone, we are back with another review video. Our first film is Raw, a French-Belgian horror drama directed by Julia Ducournau. The film follows the story of Justine, a young and successful veterinary student. Justine, a strict vegetarian, undergoes a dramatic transformation when she enters a prestigious veterinary school. Being forced to eat meat during the school's traditional and disturbing swearing-in ceremony awakens a repressed, wild side within him. The film deals with Justine's efforts to cope with this new and prohibitive appetite, her complex relationship with her brother, and her journey of self-discovery in a dramatic atmosphere. The movie is known for its tense scenes and disturbing visuals. The director created a dark, gloomy, and stuck atmosphere to make the audience feel Justine's emotional and physical transformations. Raw is not just a horror movie, but a bold commentary on individual freedom, identity, and sexuality. While watching the movie, you will feel like you have stepped into Justine's world and will experience the striking and unforgettable moments in the process of discovering her true self. This is not only a compelling and stomach-churning experience, but also a thought-provoking work that deeply affects the viewer. Our second film, 2008's Martyrs, is a French horror film directed by Pascal Laugier and is considered one of the most disturbing and controversial films in the history of cinema. The film is about the revenge story of Lucy, who was kidnapped and tortured at a young age. Lucy, who was kidnapped as a child and survived years of torture, hunts down her former tormentors to come to terms with her past. Her best friend Anna also accompanies her in this process. But this journey of revenge reveals unexpected and dark secrets. Martyrs shakes the audience not only with physical violence, but also with its psychological depths. The film begins with a dark, gloomy, and intense atmosphere, and this atmosphere continues with increasing tension until the end of the film. Its visually and emotionally impressive scenes leave deep traces in the audience's memory. This film not only pushes the boundaries of horror and violence, but also asks deep questions about pain, sacrifice, and the resilience of the human spirit. Martyrs is a bold, unforgettable, and controversial work for those looking for an unforgettable cinematic experience. My request to those who started the movie is to hold on until the end and finish the movie, because the reason for all that harsh narration is hidden at the end. Our third film, Saint Maud, 2019, is a psychological horror film written and directed by Rose Glass. The film tells the story of Maud, a young palliative care nurse who cares for Amanda, a newly devout Catholic and terminally ill former dancer. While Maud tries to confront her own dark past by taking refuge in her religious beliefs, she takes it upon herself to save Amanda's soul. But Maud's faith-filled journey becomes increasingly obsessive and dangerous. The film invites the audience to dive deeply into Maud's inner world and intensely conveys her spiritual turmoil and her unwavering devotion to her sacred duty. Saint Maud ratchets up the tension with its bleak English seaside town atmosphere. The gray, lonely, and hopeless atmosphere of this place fits perfectly with Maud's increasing inner turmoil. The film's visual and sound design help draw viewers into Maud's obsessive and disturbing world. Rather than a classic horror film, this film offers a provocative meditation on faith, loneliness, and the limits of madness. Maud's story will take you through an experience that is both emotionally moving and chilling. Saint Maud is an excellent choice for those looking for a highly original, thought-provoking, and unforgettable film. Our fourth film, Censor, 2021, is a psychological horror film directed by Prano Bailey Bond and set in 1980s Britain. The film centers on the story of Enid, a film censor who oversees extremely violent videotapes of the period. Enid is extremely meticulous and dedicated in her work, but one day, he discovers a dark connection to his past in a movie he's reviewing. This film reminds her of her sister, who disappeared when she was a child, and Enid sets out on a quest where the boundaries between reality and fiction blur. The film masterfully reflects the dark, blurry, and eerie atmosphere of the 1980s. The visual and sound design takes the viewer on a tense journey into the middle of the cassette culture of that period. Censor pushes the boundaries of its genre, and examines the effects of violence and the power of the media on psychology through the eyes of a censor. Enid's psychological collapse and her search for the truth further intensify the atmosphere of the film. Censor both dives into dark nostalgia and draws viewers into a fiction that makes them think about the real-world effects of media and mental health. This movie offers a gripping story and intense atmosphere for those who love psychological thriller and horror genres. The last movie in this video, Barbarian, 2022, is a horror movie written and directed by Zach Cregger. The movie takes place in a dark and gloomy neighborhood in Detroit. The main character, Tess, comes to town for a job interview and discovers that the house she booked on Airbnb has accidentally been booked by another person, Keith, for the same night. Since it was a stormy night for both of them, they decide to share the house. However, as the night progresses, Tess begins to discover the house's dark secrets. The film initially gains the audience's trust by introducing an everyday accommodation situation, but soon shakes that trust with unexpected and disturbing events. Barbarian is constructed to surprise the audience at every turn. It attracts attention with its unpredictable plot and frightening atmosphere. Detroit's abandoned, empty streets and dreary house interiors reinforce the film's eerie tone and force viewers to wonder what will happen around every corner. This film reinterprets traditional horror movie elements, offering a fresh new take on the classic Home Alone theme. Tess's adventure exploring the house provides a gripping experience of tension and fear. Barbarian promises a breathtaking cinematic experience full of unexpected turns for horror and thriller lovers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next review video.